Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
We're back, man. Episode 289.
Yes, sir.
Let's get right into it. First of all, let me preface this statement. I know you guys are fucking tired of the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce movement going on right now in the NFL, but we got to talk about it. This is a podcast, and we're going to work through this together, okay? So we just have to endure the Swifties for a little bit, and then we can move the fuck on, okay?
Move on swiftly.
Yeah, move on swiftly from the topic. Shout out to Vernice, man. She's the only Swiftie that I actually like as a human being. Pretty much all the rest of them are really fucking annoying. So shout out to her for supporting the podcast. She had on a shirt today, man. I seen the shirt on the story, and it said like Taylor's Way. And it had like an NFL logo, but it said like Taylor Swift's Way on it.
Oh.
I was like, yeah, this is getting crazy.
That's too much.
It's getting crazy.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, we might have to do a what do you call it? One of those wellness checks.
Yeah.
All right, let's get right into it. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. All right, I think what I was not taken aback, but pretty much what tripped me out is Taylor Swift's effect. Travis Kelce jersey sales spiked 400%. This is crazy. I don't know who's more live, the Beehive, Beyonce's Beehive, or the Swifties. This shit is wild here. Mm-hmm. Taylor Swift's trip to Kansas City, Kansas City's Chiefs star Travis Kelce played football Sunday, didn't just have the internet talking nonstop. After the 12-time Grammy Award winner's appearance at Arrowhead, sales for the all-pro tight end seemingly skyrocketed. According to the sportswear and fan merchandise company Fanatics, Kelce's jersey was one of the top 5 for the NFL on Sunday. He saw a nearly 400% spike in sales throughout the Fanatics network of sites, including NFLshop.com. A spokesperson told the Associated Press via email. This is wild. We live in a country where the average person struggles to have they can't really afford a $500 emergency, but it was a 400% spike in jersey sales. Mm-hmm. I think we're also a country of people that have wild, we don't have any real priorities. Mm-hmm. We prioritize things that the media tells us to prioritize.
Yeah.
I need to see the percentage of people that had a negative balance after they bought it. You know what? I'm going to say this, and this is I'm pigeonholing the Swifties, but I think I'm pretty accurate. The Swifties are more likely to like pumpkin spice. The Swifties are more likely to go to Lululemon and buy those leggings. Swifties are more likely to... I didn't say Starbucks yet, have I?
You just said the pumpkin spice.
Yeah, which would be at Starbucks. Yeah,
they definitely love Starbucks.
The Swifties have a 95% chance of shopping at Target.
Do they wear Uggs?
They have a 98% chance of wearing Ugg boots, even in the summertime.
Yeah, don't be. They start wearing them too early too.
Yeah,
yeah.
Right now in October, this is pumpkin spice, Ugg boots. Small pets, like small dogs, like the dogs you can fit in your purse.
Yeah, you carry them around.
Yeah, it definitely is a Swifty behavior is to have a small dog in a purse.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
Yeah.
I wish the Swifties would come over to this podcast.
Yeah. We need that type of fan base.
We need that energy, man.
Yeah, the ATMers or something like that.
Yeah, we need that. The ATMers. The Swifties. You showing support to Travis Kelce, right? You showing support to the NFL, which is a very manly sport. But this is kind of I don't even want to call this a manly podcast. It's just two dudes, but
yeah. I think what I will say is I think that as far as the NFL's business goes, it's great.
Right.
She gets to get on the camera.
They love it.
They love that she's up in the box. They show her more than they show some of the players on the field that's actually making plays. So it's, business-wise, it's good. I think for true NFL football fans, it's a little bit annoying. We want to watch Patrick Mahomes throw touchdowns. We don't care to see Taylor Swift dancing with Blake Lively in the freaking box or whatever the case may be, or pointing out Travis Kelce. We just want to see football. so be it. And it's not even like a knock on Taylor Swift. This is just like overall. Even when Jessica Simpson was up there with Tony Romo, she up there flashing the jersey and all this other stuff. Like it just got old so fast. So I get it. Busy. We playing the game. We playing the game right now. We talking
100%.
about it. But at the same time, like I don't know. I just like football, dog. I just want to see what's going on the field, and that's really all that matters to me.
We just playing the game. We're relying on the Swifties to step up to the podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
We need you to come over here and buy some goddamn merch.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy though is I think that Taylor Swift is probably getting a little exhausted because she's very performative. Like every time they pan the camera over, she knows the camera's on and she has to act interesting. Like she'll be like, now she's like hitting somebody or tapping somebody or acting like she's interested in the game the whole time. It's because she's constantly acting because she's a performer. Performers perform even when they're not on stage. She doesn't want to look and stand there and look like she's just zoned out because when everyone watches a game, we're not on our toes the whole game. We're not. Mm-hmm. But every time that fucking camera comes on, she's like whispering in someone's ear or tapping someone or jumping and chest bumping someone or hugging someone.
Yeah.
That shit's going to get tired. You know what else is going to get tired? If the Chiefs go on a 2 to 3 game losing streak, that Taylor Swift shit's going to get old real motherfucking fast.
Yeah.
You're going to have I'm telling you, this can happen. This can happen because football fans and Taylor Swift fans are two different people, okay? So if the Chiefs is losing and they got a 3-game losing streak, and they pan that camera over to Taylor Swift, the fans gonna go boo. Yeah. Hey, this the NFL, man.
Yeah.
This the NFL.
The season is like for, like a good 4.5 months or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's Also, the thing about it is like both Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift have they've been through their they've run the mill, I guess, in terms of their dating history.
Yeah.
And it's a long season. So who knows what who knows what that would be like. And also, I don't think Andy Reid is tripping right now because they winning games.
Yeah.
But I think in the back of his mind, he's just like, I don't need this energy going into a game. I don't need this conversation.
Once they lose 3 games, he's gonna walk up to Travis Kelce and be like, Look, I think she's a fun girl. I think she's a nice girl, Mm-hmm. But I think we need to zone in and lock in on football right now. We really need to focus on football.
Yeah. Coaches, is some coaches that I don't know if they've told him that yet because they winning, but I think, like you said, if they ain't winning, I think that conversation is gonna be there somehow.
And Travis Kelce, I think he fucked up. You shouldn't be fucking with her only because she's just too popular. Because the moment y'all break up or something happens, she gonna write a song about your ass.
Yeah, he gonna be all over that next album.
Oh, it's gonna be bad. He not gonna be able to leave his house without a bunch of white girls throwing hot coffee on his motherfucking ass when he go outside. Yeah,
but I think so. But also, he live in Kansas City, so he might.
The Swifties everywhere.
The Swifties is everywhere.
They everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
If you do anything, that's like disrespecting Beyonce, bro. At this point, we got to have a real conversation because Beyonce been in the game a long time and has a crazy fan base. But Taylor Swift is right there, dog. She catching up. Mm-hmm. She right there with it.
Yeah.
So it's like if you disrespect Taylor Swift, the Swifty's gonna be on your ass, man.
This is a random relationship. Also, for Black women, we got to chill out. Like, as far as a community, we don't really own anybody, right? It's cool that you got the Paul Walls or the Travis Kelce's, they kind of dip over
like
into
the fly white dudes.
Yeah, that's fine. It's cool, but it's like we don't own anybody's relationship or the women they date. You know what I mean? We just got to back off of who people are.
I think
dating.
this just all bleeds into the conversation of celebrity obsession over celebrity relationships because when you talk about it, they're like he exclusively was just dating Black women. I think Travis Kelce is just a dude and he likes women in general, right? He had that show Catching Kelce, I think it was called, where he had Black women on there, he had white women on there, but then I think it was a black woman that won the show, and then they was together for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And then she was like, he's a cheater. And once a cheater, always a cheater. She was like, she's talking bad about him, which I thought was corny.
Yeah.
But then he likes Taylor Swift, who's also white. Ain't nothing wrong with a white man dating a white woman.
But
it just is what it is.
they tripping, bro. It's Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
It's like it ain't like he dating like Ashley that work at Starbucks. Like this is the biggest artist in the world.
This is Ashley that works at Starbucks on steroids.
But not, I mean, like I wouldn't even compare that because she's like she's her own entity, dog.
But you don't understand. Every white woman that works at Starbucks, probably about 92% are Swifties, bro.
I get that, but what I'm saying is like at a certain point you get so famous that you're not really an ethnicist. Like it's like it's like the Will Smiths and the Beyonce's, like the Taylor Swifts. Like it's just that wild. So I say that to say like any dude would, if they had the opportunity, and like you can tell, like the look at the people that she has been in a relationship with. Yeah, like they've all taken that opportunity. Travis Kelce just got her when she at her peak. Like she had to. She's the most famous.
Soon as Travis Kelce, it'll be crazy. As soon as Travis Kelce do something stupid, she gonna be like, "I know you were trouble when I met you. I should have never went to your games. I never should have went with your mom."
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like your brother's beard. Oh, that shit gonna be crazy, yo. I was telling him, I said, yo, if she came out with a sex tape, that would break the whole internet.
That'd be wild.
The internet, every social platform would break in half.
Yeah.
The Swifties would go crazy.
Yeah, they'll get it. I wonder how that would play out. How like just how powerful she is, how fast it would spread or how slow it would spread. Like does she have enough power to control the search engines to a certain extent.
I think what would happen, it would destroy Travis Kelce. I think the Swifties would get him. He would probably have an early retirement.
What you mean?
Like, you don't deserve her. You don't deserve her. That tape should have never been out.
Like, is he in the tape?
Saying? Yeah. He would probably have to be in the tape, and then they would be at every game. Like, you need to retire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Somebody said that Travis Kelce looked like a highway patrolman with that turned his video camera off. No, that's wild, man. So yeah, I think that the Taylor Swift effect on the NFL fucking loves it.
Yeah,
they love it. Yeah. They love it. They could act like, oh, it's just a thing, but the ESPN has turned into the worldwide leader in Swifty. It's wild. Every time I scroll down, whether it's ESPN, Bleacher Report, any sports outlet, it's wild how much Taylor Swift I'm seeing, man.
Has there been like an athlete, I would say like singer or just any other celebrity combo of this magnitude
that's had this? I say the closest thing to this, but it wasn't to this magnitude, but he was known as be a ladies' man, is Derek Jeter. And, and especially in the late 90s, early 2000s, all the baddest girls in Hollywood, they all dated Derek Jeter, right?
Yeah.
So they'd be at his game and they'd be like, and Derek Jeter's up to bat and he's being watched by such and such, Jessica Alba, because he was dating Jessica Alba. And then all kinds of other women. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that was a big deal, I guess, then. But this is on steroids, and it's mainly because of social media. Too.
Yeah, the only thing to compare to is the Jessica Simpson and Tony Romo.
Tony Romo, yeah. I can't think of another one.
Yeah, even in the NBA, the NBA is weird because sometimes the dudes that's like 6-man or like they may be like the backup center or something like that. They low key be the ones that be bagging the
bad ones, like the notoriety.
Yeah.
Now let's be clear. Let's be clear when we say this. Even though Travis Kelce is the best tight end ever, the main character in this relationship is fucking Taylor Swift by far, by a mile.
Yeah.
So it's
much more popular.
Yeah, he's dating a woman that's dwarfing him.
I would say it didn't even have this effect because Gisele Bündchen she's just a model. So she's not really like...
She ain't just a model. She's an icon.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we don't hear her talk. She just looks really good and she's on the runway and stuff like that. But we don't really know anything about her personality.
True.
So, like, I think she's obviously like, one of the most popular models ever, but it didn't have this effect because, we just kind of look at Giselle. We don't really, she doesn't have music or, like she's not an actor or anything like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. The crazy thing about Giselle is I think she was richer than Tom, which it's crazy.
Yeah.
But, and he did pretty well for himself. But that's just the thing. Some of these women that you date, they will dwarf the athlete.
Yeah. I don't know though. It's like, that's what they, obviously they have the net worth, the thing, and you could calculate Tom's salary, but a lot of that stuff, like who knows though, as far as like endorsements with Under Armour and, different real estate opportunities. We never really know like
That's
how
true.
much money people really make.
That's true. We're only taking one part of the fucking salary.
Yeah, we just know he got maybe a rough estimate of what his Under Armour deal looked like, and we know his salary on the.
He got a whole clothing line, Tom Brady's clothing line.
It's like casual clothes.
It's like casual, some sporty stuff, some casual stuff, like a blended. Like if you want to look like, let me say this. If you want to look like a 40-something-year-old, slightly athletic white man that plays golf, you need to get Tom Brady's clothes. You will totally be able to,
Yeah.
I like his clothing line. I'm getting to that age where it's starting to look really good.
Where can you find the clothes?
I think it's Tom Brady. I forgot what his website's called, but yeah, Tom's got like the khakis.
Yeah, TB12.com or something.
Yeah, probably TB12. I know Shador was wearing his shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
But yeah, I think he sponsored
like the NIL.
Yeah, I think he was.
I still don't really fully understand what the NIL, like how that actually.
It's just name and likeness.
Yeah.
So I think anything that's under that. Anything under the name and likeness, you can make some money off of it. And these people are making bread. College players and Wendy's commercials and shit.
Yeah, you see Caleb Williams in the commercials
with Reggie Bush. And
I'm like, dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's dope though. I think it's cool because here's the thing, man. A lot of these guys that are in college, some of these guys are not going to get drafted real high. Some of these guys. Not all of them, but some of them are not. And then even the NIL deals that these other athletes are getting, they may not be the top ones, but they're still getting paid too.
I want to know. Yeah, that's what I want to know. I want to know like the guy that's like going, for example, New Mexico State, right? They did decent last year. They went to a bowl. I think they won a bowl game last year. Like decent record, a couple games over 500. But I want to know like the guy that go to New Mexico State. That's like, the receiver on the team or the corner on the team. Like, what is that? Obviously, Caleb Williams is gonna make bread, and Shador Sanders is gonna make bread. But like, what does it look like for like the average NCAA player? I
mean, they could get paid for appearances now, so it doesn't have to be something super commercial. It could be like a car dealership locally. It could be all kinds of. You could do a signing, or where you have a signing where you're signing merchandise, and you could actually have your own jersey and sign it and sell it. Like you still can make money without being a top star player.
That's real.
But yeah, not to veer too far off the track. I know some of the Swifties, you got mad. Okay, I apologize. Okay, we're on your time right now, so the Swifties, we apologize, but we're gonna have to move on from this now. Okay, we got other people that listen every week.
Yeah.
Okay, so until you start listening every week, Swifties, we gotta fucking let you go.
Yeah, we'll talk about if y'all start listening like heavy, we'll do a full album review.
Yeah, we will listen to the whole album and we will go through each one, and we will see if each one, especially when a new album drops, we're gonna see if any of these songs have been motivated by any wrongdoings from Travis Kelce.
Yeah,
and then we'll be able to tell you like, yep, Travis Kelce, when he dropped that goddamn touchdown, that's when Taylor Swift had to leave him because he was being toxic.
Yeah. It's going to be a crazy song like, you slept with the black girl and I didn't like it. Because, I don't know. He going to be hitting it from the back and he going to be like, dang, man. I miss the sisters, man.
You didn't like me because I wasn't melanated.
I just wasn't thick enough.
No, thank you, but it's nice to meet ya. You left me because my name wasn't Shanika.
Oh my god.
Nah.
That's wild.
Oh man.
That is wild.
On the next Taylor Swift.
Dang.
All right. Switching gears. This is just this topic took me aback, man. Tupac Shakur found one of the people involved in his shooting. The man charged in Tupac Shakur's 1996 shooting death has put himself at the crime scene. Here's what we know about him. This motherfucker's an idiot. Mm-hmm. He had a DJ Vlad interview and a different interview where he put himself at the scene and he mentioned that, yeah, man, like Tupac, he was getting his ass lit up. Like homeboy was putting in work and Tupac was like, he was breakdancing in the front seat. And I'm thinking like, this dude is telling this story.
Yeah.
And like he's incriminating himself 27 years after, because when you're a piece of shit, your highlight of your life is shooting Tupac, which is it's absolutely fucked up. But
you know what? I'll let you finish it now.
Well, it's no different than the motherfucker that shot Nipsey. Same piece of shit. All right. As far back as 1998, Dwayne Keith Davis was telling a cable channel that he was in the front seat passenger in the car from which the fellow passenger fired the shots that killed Tupac Shakur. In 2009, Davis, known as Keefy D, confessed to police a role in the case. A former detective who investigated the shooting told CNN, but the authorities couldn't immediately use the information. And then, after what police say was a reinvigorated investigation, Davis, 60 years old, was arrested in Las Vegas on Friday with a grand jury indicting him on the case on charges of murder with the use of deadly weapon. The arrest comes some 27 years after the rapper was shot as he was leaving a boxing match in Las Vegas Strip. The shooting on September 7, 1996 was a retaliatory attack on the 25-year-old star, police said Friday. Authorities alleged Davis plotted and orchestrated the shooting in a matter of hours after the rapper and others attacked Davis' nephew the same day. All right, so it's crazy, man. If Tupac come out with a new song, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, here we go. They shot me dead in 1996. The niggas was acting like a bitch. I was dead. Can you feel me? I'm like, God damn it, they got Tupac. He had to make a song from the fucking dead.
Yeah.
For a minute, I didn't know if Tupac was dead. I'm not gonna lie, because he kept coming out with new music like a motherfucker.
Yeah, and it was current stuff he was saying.
He would say certain shit, and I'm like, wait a minute, how do you know? He's like, Eminem is my favorite rapper. I'm like, what the fuck?
iPhone 15.
iPhone 15.
iPhone 15.
Oh man. Oh man. I download my new song on the iPhone. Like, how is this nigga? How do they know this? Oh
That's
man.
Funny.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I one time, this is completely unrelated story. One time I was trying to get a song cleared, so I talked to like this like clearing company where like if you sample a song or whatever. So on the song I had like an interpolation of a Tupac song, and they told me straight up, they was like, they didn't tell me what to do. They just said, hey, like we understand that you have this Tupac sample in your song. I just want to let you know ahead of time, like it's very expensive. Two, they usually don't get back, to us. And if they do, it's going to be, months and months and months later.
Wow.
And, the likelihood of it getting cleared is very low. So it's, so I say that to say like, I don't know. I just try to get a song cleared by Tupac's estate and it was a no-go. But yeah, that's completely unrelated.
Wow. I just think this is fucked up because they couldn't find and arrest some of these people before his fucking mom died. I think it would be awesome for his mom to see him get some justice, but he's gone, his mom's gone, and he didn't have kids, so no one really, besides his some of his rap group in the what's they called, the Outlaws. Mm-hmm. Some of the outlaw members, they get to see him get justice, but beyond that, like no one really got to see him get justice, man. And
Yeah.
That's pretty fucked up.
I wonder what, like, I would be curious to know, maybe there'll be like podcasts or something that come out afterwards. It seemed like we all knew who did it.
Yeah, because he kept fucking incriminating himself with these podcasts.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the other guys had passed away, but it was just weird how, and maybe it just took him like saying it. Maybe that you're talking about that report. Maybe that report initially the stuff he was saying about him being in a car like in the early 2000s or whatever. Maybe that was not the right way, or he might have said, I don't know what he said literally, but he might have been saying certain things that didn't necessarily incriminate himself. Mm-hmm. But maybe, this podcast run, and a lot of times when it comes to different cases, there's like a little bit of a social pressure. So we talked about how that documentary just came out, and just a couple other things. There's been times where they'll do an investigative documentary on a certain celebrity, and then it just kind of like reignites a certain case, or there's the killing, what's it called, Killing County, that kind of like reinvigorates certain cases, and they go back and open those files up and see if there was any wrongdoing, or if they found any new information or something like that. And there's no statute of limitations on certain things, so that's a cold case. It's fair game. So I just think though, like, this, it just almost seems like anticlimactic, or anticlimactic, because it's just like we've been kind of like, there's been countless documentaries, Who Shot Tupac, and all these different things, and like VH1 series and BT series and all these different things, only to find out that the nigga that shot him has been on a press tour for the past 10 years.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think the society had figured out who fucking shot Tupac before this. And what's annoying, I find it kind of convenient that they cracked this case, right? All of a sudden they got a Who Shot Tupac, another one that just came out. So I feel like this, like, it's kind of been orchestrated too. Like they were on the way to breaking this shit, and now there's like a Who Shot Tupac documentary. I don't even want to watch it.
Yeah.
I don't care to watch it, dude. It's been too many of them. Who shot Biggie? Who shot Tupac? Like every other year they got a new one.
Yeah.
Like let these men rest in peace.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that but I think that there is a sort of like, I think when it comes to finding these cases, there's an element of, justice being served and stuff like that. Yeah. But I think there's also like a little bit of a game to it. Like, I think that some of these offices or the departments,
100%.
They want a little bit of that notoriety. Like, we found Eric Holder, or we found Keefe D, or we found this other person that murdered this celebrity. Yeah. It just kind of brings more notoriety and more to that department, acclaim to that department.
100%. But I also think because Tupac was a monumental man. So if you think about who Tupac was, even now, like down the street, I don't live too far from West High School, and I was driving down the street and I seen this kid wearing a Tupac t-shirt. Tupac died over 2 decades ago. And this kid that was wearing a shirt, he probably was born in like fucking, I don't know, maybe 2009 in fucking whatever, 2008 or some shit, 2006, whatever. And Tupac was dead over a decade before you were even fucking born. Mm-hmm. But you're wearing this shirt. I've seen kids wearing Selena t-shirts, kids wearing Tupac t-shirts. Like, these were monumental people. So in a way, these people never die. They never die because they're remembered through things such as t-shirts and people playing the music still and all those things. So when you're in Las Vegas and you're like LVPD, you want to crack this case. It's been on your desk for 27 fucking years, right? So, I mean, who else is supposed to figure it out?
But the thing about it is there's sometimes when the person gets arrested right when they have the information, and sometimes they get arrested when they have the evidence, So I think this is a thing where, And if you're in the judicial system, you understand that it's not about what you know, it's about what you can prove.
There you go.
So, whatever
O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, whatever piece of information they got recently, it was even weird when they said they were like reopening the case. That article came out maybe a month or so ago.
Yeah, they knew what the fuck was going on.
And it was kind of weird. Like, I thought it was I still think this is a little bit of a joke. Like, yeah, not that it's like funny, but it's just like, it just seems so random. But yeah, I don't know.
You know what, dude? I'm sorry. I'm going to sound like a dickhead, but I don't want to give them any credit for cracking the case. You know why? Police are living in the most easiest fucking time to bust a criminal because they're incriminating themselves. All you got to do is go on social media and you will find a person incriminating themselves.
Yeah.
Like, you guys don't got to do the same detective work that your grandfather did.
Yeah.
You don't got to do that no more. All you got to do is just go to TikTok, go to Instagram, go to Facebook, and this nigga's telling on themselves.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what's crazy too? I was thinking about Chris Rock. Chris Rock said, Tupac was trying to tell us who shot him. He's like, he said Tupac had a song. He's like, the brother in the red shot me dead. It was a nigga named Kevin with a Mac 11.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy though, man. These cops are living in the easiest time to bust a criminal because they don't have to do the work. All they have to do is just like go on the internet and they could literally sit down in their chair and just watch content. That's the easiest way to bust a criminal.
Yeah. And it's the way they even tell the story, like I don't know if it was a sheriff or whatever, but he got up and he tells exactly what happened. He said, the Tupac and Suge Knight, they beat up this guy inside of the hotel. And then, about an hour later, like, the people come and then they retaliate and all this stuff. They documented, the exact same way that everybody, like for years and years understood it. But it's just so crazy. Like, I can remember, it had to be like 2 years ago. I did like a deep dive into like that whole thing. And I don't know why I was like kind of invested in it, but, you just kind of fall in that YouTube wormhole. And they did they call it like a previs, which is almost like a 3D mock-up of like the car, how the car like, left the hotel stuff like that. And, you could just see like, you see it and I'm just like, dang, this is crazy. But, with all of that information, they still didn't have the person. So this is telling me like how easy it is to get away with murder. I think that's the biggest thing that I'm finding out. Well,
no, I think that when you're talking about getting away with murder, you have to go back to 1996. You got to understand that Big Brother is everywhere now. Mm-hmm. You can't get away with anything. That's why when Nipsey was talking about gang enhancements, and also committing crimes, he's like, technology is too prominent now to where you can't get away with anything. If you think that you shot somebody in an alley and you ran off and you got away with it, no, you didn't, because they're gonna find a way to get the street light and the closest camera to that street light, and they're gonna be able to see you. Like when you get in an accident in traffic and you're in an intersection, there's cameras every fucking where.
But I think that's true, but only fractionally more than 1996.
Oh man,
because you got to think. No, look at the night he died and how much information we know about it.
Right on the strip.
Yeah, we have documents. I mean, there's visual footage of him fighting. The person is footage of him. We know where he was going. We know where he was at. It's like, I'm saying that obviously now in 2023, like, people got social media and all these different things. But I'm saying even in 1996, there's literally a photograph of him right before he dies. You know what I mean? So,
well, of course, the media took it.
Not the media. It was just a fan. Like, that was just seeing him in a car.
True, but you got to understand, having a Kodak camera wasn't as convenient. Like, people had Kodak cameras, but it wasn't as convenient. So a lot of people had them, but we didn't just have them to go out to places all the time.
Yeah.
So you're right. Somebody snapped a picture of it, of course. It was Tupac. Yeah. And they had the Kodaks back then. You snapped a picture, the negatives came out. Okay, cool. But now with the onslaught of social media, that's the form of technology I'm also referencing.
Yeah, I get that.
It's so much. And then also, too, you got to remember now we have almost like bullet sonar. So when you shoot somebody, bow, they use that sound to locate that actual gunshot.
Yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of technology now that you wouldn't get away with shit.
It's a lot. What I'm saying is that it is a lot more now, but in 1996 there's a lot of information about that case. And it's based off of, you got the photograph, you got the hotel, footage, you got it, like you said, it's on the strip. It's people that seen what happened, and they probably just didn't say nothing because of the culture we live in. But yeah, it's just that, like, going back to what I was saying, they had the visualization and the actual time that he hit certain lights and stuff like that. So all of that stuff was already documented. The only thing I guess they didn't, have, the right information was, they didn't have enough evidence to arrest Keefe D. But after he went on his little press run, he went on Vlad TV and all this other stuff. It was like, okay, you didn't told us exactly what we need.
The dumbest thing is he's like, the dude was tricking Keefe D into incriminating himself. Mm-hmm. He was basically telling Keefe D, he said, Mike Tyson said if he ever found who shot Tupac, he would beat his ass or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, until that nigga that I said, come on then.
He said that?
Yeah.
That nigga's crazy.
Stupid motherfucker incriminated himself because the actual interviewer, the interviewer lured him in to that question. Or he lured him in. He lured him in, not into the question, but he lured him into that statement, and he went for the bait. He's like, well, fuck it. Fuck that motherfucker. He come on too. And it's like, bro.
The only thing that I would say, I think that there might be like some more information that comes out about this.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because there was a lot of rumors around, and a lot of the rumors ended up being true as far as like the person that they say that like physically shot Tupac. They had the right people. Like they show the people in the car. They show exactly where they're sitting in the car, the type of car and stuff like that. And a lot of people, for the longest time have always said, the East Coast and Diddy and all them had something to do with the shooting. So, and then the Keefe D said, he was like, man, I was doing fine. I was selling my drugs. I was making a lot of money. And then when Diddy got involved in my life, everything went to shambles. So it might be some, he hasn't really been a liar. He's been a person that's, been so truthful that he told on himself. So I would not be surprised if there was like, hey, we might, if you want to give us some names about who hired you to do X, Y, and Z, or, who got you to do,
this could be why. It could be why also they closed the case, because they could have been gathering evidence. Because to me, Diddy strikes me as a person that has a lot of money and a lot of power and a lot of influence. Mm-hmm. And he's the type of dude that if he finds out somebody's trying to investigate him, he could really make some moves and actually get some people taken care of. Mm-hmm. If that guy ends up dying, then we're going to know something's up. If somehow that guy within the next couple months, whatever, if he ends up getting offed and they say, hey, Tupac's alleged killer was killed today, people are just going to think, oh, man, he killed Tupac. What you expect?
That's what it was. They would think like it was some random prisoner.
Right.
I don't think people care about just before it, if it does happen or if it doesn't. But before, I would say, like, I don't think the average prisoner is that concerned about Tupac's life.
I kind of disagree, and I'll explain why. You're right that the average person may not, but you got to realize Mexicans rock with Tupac hard. Mm-hmm. So if you go, if you end up going to some type of prison of any sort that's got like a high Latino population, they're gonna kill that dude.
I don't think because it's bigger than Tupac. Like that dude is he's a real Crip. Like he's a real he's a real OG. So it is Tupac cool, but like, it's a lot of
you talking about the dude Keefe D?
Yeah.
He gonna get his car pulled though for that. That was
for what?
For killing Tupac.
Then no, they don't care about Tupac. This is Suge Knight. Yeah, it is like he hang around Bloods, and it's a gang fight. So it's niggas it's niggas that
True.
They didn't cry when Nipsey Hussle died, and a lot of it is inside of like, if they got beef with Rolling 60s or something like that, or if you from a blood gang, like they not really fans of Nipsey Hussle like that. So yeah, the gang politics be deeper than
I wouldn't be surprised if fucking all of a sudden Jada Pinkett comes out with a new poem from Tupac now. It'd be some super over familiar poem.
That's Jada Pinkett. That's who I would be curious to hear from. Not to hear from her, but understand. I mean, kind of want to know what her thought process is in terms of them finding his.
This is the poem I wrote to Tupac 2 days before he died. Your penis.
Dang.
She would read that shit too.
Will Smith, that was not me.
She would read that shit.
That was not me.
Will would already be like, I already know. I know my wife loved this penis. I know. Before I did the movie Wild Wild West, I knew that Tupac's penis was very familiar with my wife's mouth.
That's crazy.
Keep Tupac's dick out my wife's mouth. I'm sorry, Will.
That's crazy.
Oh man! Shout out to Will Smith. Man, yeah, that's wild, man. I'm glad Tupac got justice, but I think that a lot of society had figured this shit out before this. The police department had figured it out. And then, and then they want to take a lot of credit, like the way that the guy had broke it when he had the thing. It was like this extreme like celebrity like element to it. Like we want ownership for breaking this case.
Yeah.
Like the streets broke that case. The streets knew who killed Tupac a month after he died, bro.
Yeah, I mean that's street. It's always in the streets though. Like you know how it is. Like
it won't make it to the police department.
Yeah, just because people won't.
They ain't talking.
They won't quote unquote snitch. But yeah, it's always we hear that. I've heard different stories about people that have been shot in Bakersfield, and I don't know if it's my duty to go to the police with it, but I just be like, man, that's tragic. But you do be hearing different stories and stuff like that.
I will also say this too, in regards to Tupac. As much as monumental of a man he was, and some of the positive songs he made, he was also into some fuckery. Like he became a blood in his 20s, which is like, come on, man. And then he was getting in fights. He was into some like Tekashi behavior, kind of. You know, so he lived a double life. I think the saddest thing for me is I don't think that Tupac got to live out his greatness, because he had a lot of greatness within him, but he also had a lot of immaturity that got him in a situation such as like fighting in gang fights. You had no business doing that, man. You wasn't from LA for one. You really wasn't a blood, but you got intertwined in the wrong shit.
I think that if they were to remake the Tupac thing, I think that it would be more like Honey Boy, if that makes sense. Like the Tupac movie, because Honey Boy was a movie about Shia LaBeouf where he was like so engulfed in acting that he didn't really know who he was. Like he lied about a lot of stuff. He lied about his dad and the way his dad treated him and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff was fictionalized. Yes. And part of it was because he kind of had mental health issues such that he had been acting so long that he didn't really know who he was as a person. So I say that to say they have a lot of Tupac movies and stuff like that. And I don't know if they might make one again in the future, but I think if they do, that would be an interesting take on it. Like that Tupac that is kind of like with the split personalities, trying to find himself. Like on one moment you're a poet, you went to this art school, right? And, and not in a disrespectful way. Like he was a little bit feminine. Yeah, when he was in high school, 100%. And then you grow. I mean, you get a little bit older in your 20s, and it's thug life, and all these different things. You jumping people in hotels.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Until I got that thug life written on my chest, but it was on his stomach.
Yeah. Got it tatted on his chest.
Yeah, man. And Tupac's one of the only people ever to have a shootout with the police and not go to prison because
That's wild.
Yeah, it's because he knew within he understood the actual law.
Somebody said something that was so Chingy. Chingy was like, I ain't gonna try to impersonate his voice, but he was just like, yeah, I didn't really understand that Tupac. You know, a lot of people thought he was bald because he was losing his head, but he was really bald because when he got into that altercation with the police officers, that they beat him up so bad that he had patches in his head.
He did.
But he had hair after that.
He did, but he had I guess he had knots on his head.
Yeah, I believe that, but I don't know if that was the reason why he was bald. Is what I'm getting.
That's what I caught on the documentary.
It said that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Dang, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Dang, yeah. Because I was like, there was people in the comments that was saying like, nah, that ain't true. Like he was already losing his head, and he had hair when he was in prison and stuff like that. So
yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, well, it was in there. But yeah, man. Yeah. The Tupac conversation can go on for years, man. Mm-hmm. I'm just glad he got some justice. Mm-hmm. And I'm just curious to see what happens now. Who else is I don't think this is over. I think there's gonna be some more conversation. I think that this might be the case that opens the other one with Biggie. And somehow they'll be
if there's something related, it might be intertwined, and a lot of it, they be having this narrative oh, it wasn't no East Coast, West Coast. It was really, Tupac and Biggie, and the magazines did this. And it's that may be true, but I don't know. I think, like you said, I think it's a whole world that's going to open up out of this.
I remember when both of them died. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Being old enough to remember the day when they both died. Mm-hmm. When Tupac died, it was just everything was Tupac everywhere. MTV and Kurt Loder. I think Kurt Loder passed away. I could be wrong, but Kurt Loder was the MTV news guy, and he broke the news when three major icons. When Tupac died, when Kurt Cobain died, and when Biggie died. I think he broke all three of them. Mm-hmm. And Kurt Loder's whenever Kurt Loder came on and it was an interruption of programs, that's when you knew it was something serious.
Something bad happened, huh?
MTV News, I'm Kurt Loder. When you heard that, you who the fuck died?
It's breaking news, huh?
It's breaking news every time. Yeah, let me see. I wonder, I'm not sure if he passed. Kurt Loder was, he was MTV's guy. Let's see, Kurt Loder. Now he's 78, so I don't think he passed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he said years active, 19. Yeah, he's still alive. Montclair. Okay.
He's still alive.
Yeah, he didn't pass, but he's 78. So yeah, when he was breaking those, he was pretty young still. Mm-hmm. MTV, I'm Kurt Loder. Kurt Cobain's is really fucked up though. When he passed, man, so many fans were just let down, and I think he passed away. I think near San Diego, I believe. Mm-hmm. So I think there were people out there at his home. Let me see, Kurt Cobain. And his what was his Courtney Love?
Yeah,
she was so spun out on dope. Everybody hated her. They thought that she fucking had him killed.
Yeah, it's crazy how these celebrities, they just be out here drugged up and still functioning. Still living life. There's this movie called Babylon, and it's kind of about the genesis of Hollywood and movies and stuff like that. And you just see it's a fictional movie, but you just see how wild those times were, and probably still are. With a lot of drugs and fast life and sex and alcohol and stuff like that. It's a different world out there.
Now he died in Seattle, Washington. It says Seattle. I know his daughter, he had a baby daughter, and she was talking now. And it's just weird, she was an infant when that happened, because he died in 94. Mm-hmm. So he died you were 2 years old when he fucking died.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
That just tells you how old I am. I fucking remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If all this you
Hey, they had slaps.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Poor guy. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Enough about dead artists. All right, switching gears. Let's go to an alive artist. Drake. Drake gives a fan $50,000. All right, let's get into it. Drake gives $50K to a man who got dumped by his girlfriend and went to a show alone. And in quote, Drake, what the fuck is wrong with her? All right, Drake just made another Lucky Fans night in Miami. While on stage at the Kia Center on Friday, the Slime You Out rapper noticed a sign. I hate when they fucking do that. Rapper noticed a sign from a brokenhearted and possibly empty-pocketed man. Usually I don't do something nice for a lady, like give away a bag or some shit like that. But bro, right here, he said, I spent all my savings buying tickets for me and my ex, but honestly, never mind. It's really her loss. Drizzy said as he read the sign. So she ain't come with you tonight, he asked, as the fan gestured no. And then he says, what the fuck is wrong with her? And you in here just icy and with a gold chain and sunglasses on? He asked. Suddenly the crowd started chanting, fuck that bitch. And Drake said, hold on, that's a little aggressive. But you know, she's going to feel real fucked up because I'm going to give you 50 bands so you can flex on her. Drake added before the audience erupted in cheers. Dang. I think that was a beautiful gesture to a fan. Mm-hmm. But I got a little commentary about it. Okay. Shout out to Drake for that. But that dude in the audience, that dude is corny. Here's why. Okay, your girl left you. That's a terrible feeling. You know, it's a relationship pain is worse than breaking your fingers, right? But to be holding up a sign like a teenage fucking Swifty at a Drake concert, that's why your girl left you, man.
What was the seats like?
He was close. He was close to the stage.
Yeah.
He had his shades on. He was holding a little sign, and he was holding it up to make sure Drake seen it. Yeah. I think that was a little bit extra. And look here, man, I don't want to sound, negative, but like if I broke up with my girl and I'm at a concert, I'm trying to enjoy the concert. I want to get away from it. I'm not trying to get that artist's attention. I'm just up there enjoying. I'm just enjoying the whole everything, the music, the ambiance. I'm taking in the whole moment because I'm heartbroken and I just want to get away for a moment. But no, you got to bring a little sign, right? Now you ruined it because everybody's going to start bringing little signs. Like the next dude holding a sign like, my girlfriend left me. I have nothing. The next one, all I got is ramen noodles at home. Yeah. The next sign, my penis is small. I can't get laid. Yeah. There's gonna be a bunch of motherfuckers at these shows with signs like that now. But yeah, I mean, he didn't want to. He took advantage of it. $50K.
Yeah. He was definitely playing the game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know he went there. I don't think he expected to get 50 racks. I think that's like, who would have even expected that? But I think his intention was to, have a conversation. Because, Drake likes to break up his concerts and talk to the audience and stuff like that. So I'm sure he figured that Drake would see it at least, or hopefully he's seen it and, they would have a little back and forth about it.
He wanted it to be on theme also because he had 2 albums within that statement, which was, Her Loss and Honestly Never Mind.
Yeah. Right? And then the new album is For the Dog. So he kind of like
he merged those, which I think is a pretty cool play on words, but I still think it's a little corny because you're a grown man holding a sign like this is a fucking Michael Jackson concert or something. You know what? Hold on.
Are for sporting events.
Hold on, man. Hold on. We talk about the Swifties and how they're doing something. Absolutely no one in history can compare to those fucking Michael Jackson concerts in the 90s. God damn.
Yeah.
It was kids going to those concerts like, Michael! They would pass out, bro. They would cry and fall to the fucking ground. If you guys don't believe me, go to YouTube right now.
Bruh, this is Michael Jackson. You don't. What do you mean if those that don't believe you?
Well, they have to.
Everybody has seen kids, like you talk about Selena shirts, like kids know Michael Jackson like he came out right now.
Yeah, that's true. And what's wild about Michael Jackson is kids were screaming and falling out, and the whole time he's grabbing his dick. He's like, you know. And he's like, one time this dude was like like full stroking his balls, like completely stroking his balls.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm like, bro, that shit you could not get away with what Michael Jackson was doing in the 90s, bro.
Yeah.
And no one batted an eye. The 90s was a wild time.
Who's worse, Michael Jackson or Busta Rhymes?
Oh, Michael was worse, dude.
Heck no.
Michael was worse, dude. Michael was worse because it was kids, bro.
But Busta Rhymes, Michael Jackson was not like, it wasn't like a sexual thing. Busta Rhymes was like jacking off a microphone.
That's true. It was more derogative with Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
He was jacking off a microphone. Right. You're right. But to be touching your nuts like around a bunch of kids is crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. People are passing out there.
And it'd be crazy because it'd be to a song you really shouldn't be grabbing your nuts. You're like, I'm talking to the man in the mirror. And you're grabbing your nuts to that shit?
Yeah.
That's not a nut grabbable song.
I think most women learn how to masturbate from watching Michael Jackson dance.
Right, they get right on the clit every time. right on that
Like,
clit.
oh, that's how you do it.
They be even making it sound like you know. Bethany, what are you doing in there? Oh man, that's wild, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm off track now. But oh yeah, with Drake. Yeah, I think Drake is dope, man. But I think there's certain things he's doing that are a little out of how do you say? They're a little bit outside of his age range. I'm not trying to tell this man how to live his career, but it's starting to get a little bit old now.
Like what?
Like just the same, like some of the same Drake scenarios that he puts in music, like, I'm trying to find the right one, but I don't know if her intentions are pure or not.
I will say, I think when you're the biggest rapper in the world, your idea of relationships is so skewed. Like you can have any woman you want, you know, like the baddest Instagram girl or like it. I don't think he would be in a relationship with Taylor Swift, but it wouldn't even be surprising. Like if Drake, you know, was if he wasn't dating Travis Kelce, and all of a sudden it was like Drake and Taylor Swift were out at dinner at, you know, some restaurant in LA.
The Swifties would fucking go nuts.
But I'm just saying, like when you live a lifestyle like that, like it's I would imagine it's very difficult to be in a regular relationship. You just got so many options, dog.
Yeah, it's too much. And you know what's fucked up? And this is going to sound like poor Drake, but the fact that he can have any woman that he pretty much wants. And they say, that's not true. Every woman don't want Drake. Shit. I say Drake has access to at least 78% of women. Mm-hmm. At least 78%.
Yeah.
Right? Which is an astronomical number. Mm-hmm. Right? So in his mind, I don't know if he knows if women's intentions are pure. He's achieved so much that it kind of turned into his kryptonite when it comes to finding a woman.
Especially because the ones that lucked out, like, and not that J. Cole and Kendrick are like not, I'm not talking about like notoriety, but his lifestyle is just different. Like Drake even admits it. He's like, I'm a real rapper. Like, you know, I'm really in the clubs. Like, I'm really taking advantage of this lifestyle. He's like, you know, he says like, he's kind of jealous of J. Cole and Kendrick in a way because they can just duck off, you know, if they not on the album cycle. But Drake is like really out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
he was at a strip club recently.
Yeah. So I think that, you know, just I forgot where I was going with that, but yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, you just saying he was a little jealous because they could duck off when it's not album time.
Yeah. But he just, but just going to the point where his lifestyle is just so different than anybody else.
Well, I mean, what it is he's the most commercially successful. Yeah. Right. So he's also, his career is based in him just being like the what would be considered the Hollywood version of like a rap artist, where he's always out somewhere on the scene. He's naming strippers at strip clubs, like, tell Malaya she on fire, she should work tonight. Like, that's just like who Drake is. He's kind of created his own, like, he can't duck off.
Yeah.
Like, he's the guy that has to keep doing this shit, you know? Even making the little dance songs like you go right foot up, left foot slide, right foot up, left foot slide. That shit was huge.
Especially during the pandemic.
Oh, that was huge. People was wearing COVID masks doing that dance. Basically, I'm saying we about to slide. All right, Drake. Getting a little old for dance songs, sir.
You should have had what's the dude's name? DJ Casper on the remix.
On which one? On what?
It was a DJ Casper.
To the left. We gonna do it like this, DJ Casper. Take it back now, Drake. 2 ups this time. Slide to the left.
Take it back now, Drake.
Now I'd be like, crisscross. And then Drake pop up. Everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Yo, I'm gonna tell you the dopest Drake to me. And first of all, I appreciate Drake's art now because I'm the type of person that I'm like, oh, I want to hear the old Drake. Like, Drake is still dope, so don't get it fucked up.
Yeah.
But I would have to say my favorite era for Drake was that 2009 Drake. When he first came out, and then the second one was the Take Care Drake. That's when that nigga was he was on super fire.
Yeah.
That Take Care album was dope. And then the other one, what was the other one where his face was in the clouds? Fuck, what was that called?
Nothing Was the Same?
Nothing Was the Same, Drake. That was crazy.
Yeah.
I said Drake, because even after 2015, he had some dope ass shit. But I said, I would say Drake was, ooh, shit. I say Drake was dropping really good music up till 16.
I hope he's motivated now.
Yeah.
That's like
honestly,
you know, like when Canelo was saying, you know, it's like nobody can beat this Canelo. Like I hope, you know, there's a Drake can find some of that motivation where like people saying Canelo fell off or he lost a step or whatever. I hope he getting in the studio and, you know, he kind of hears all that noise and you know.
Yeah, shout out to Canelo too, man. I think more than just his boxing, I'm impressed with his English because he just trying to speak straight English now. I think when he was on Breakfast Club, that was really impressive. Now he just do all his interviews in straight English. He don't even want a translator.
Yeah.
He'd be like, you know, like, I don't give a fuck. We can fight whoever. I don't care. You know, I'm a fighter. I am a fighter. I am the best. You want to fight me, then we can fight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, this is a different
English
Canelo.
Is getting good.
English Canelo is different.
Yeah.
You see,
you know, it's crazy. He been talking this spicy in Spanish for a long time, but you know, if you don't really catch some of the swear words and stuff like that, you don't really know what he's saying. But now you know, you don't need no translator because a lot of times there has been times where the translator was cleaning up some of his words. So he'll say like, you know, whatever.
He's like, I want to speak for myself.
Well, not even then. He would just say like, no, like say what I actually said.
Oh,
and then it translated. Because he'll clean it up. He's like, yeah, you know, Canelo is just saying like, you know, he thanks the fans and he's, you know, really, and he's like, no, say what I said. And then he'll, you know, translate it properly. But
because I forgot who was trying to fight him. He's like, you just want a payday, man. I'm not going to give you a payday. You want a payday? You want a payday? I know
singing?
that. Yeah, you didn't see that?
Nah, I didn't
He's
see
like,
that.
I know that. You want a payday. I'm not going to give you a payday. You a shitty fighter. You a shitty fighter. You a terrible boxer. Fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And I was like, this dude, I think he taking his English as serious as his boxing. Because he did that whole interview with Charlemagne and DJ Envy in straight English.
Yeah.
And I was like, man. And then
that's dope to me because, like, you know, for somebody to learn how to speak English in their, like, 30s and 20s, like,
that's crazy.
That's very difficult.
Hell yeah, that's
English
crazy.
is a very difficult language to learn. So,
I don't know. I don't know that because English and Spanish are more alike than probably any other language.
nah.
Yes, they are.
No. I'm telling you, like, I know like the experience of a teacher that is trying to teach English to a kid that don't know that is only speaking Spanish.
Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe an English speaker is probably easier for them to learn
I would
Spanish.
say that. I don't know. About
Right.
English is one of the hardest languages to learn because a lot of it, like the word right, like you try to sound that out and you'd be like R-I-G-H-T. You just like raggeds.
Yeah, in Spanish, I'm not sure what it is in Spanish. Is hecha? I can't remember what it is in there. but like the wording is just different and how they actually use it in.
Yeah,
in
Spanish
sense.
they're primarily sounding out all the letters. English you gotta understand like certain things and the tenses and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, shout out to him, bro. That was highly impressive. And
Yeah.
he even answered the questions honestly when Charlamagne talked about De La Hoya. He's like, with this, he said, he said, if you were to do it all over again with De La Hoya, would you sign to Golden Boy Productions or whatever? And he was like, no, I would not. He's like, do you consider him to be a trustworthy person? He's like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Canelo just kept it real. He's like, I don't really feel like he, like I don't want to speak bad on him, but no, I don't. I would not do it.
Yeah, he's been saying that for a while. I think now he's in a position where he's making a lot of money, and his deal was probably a little bit more transparent than it was back then. Because you got to think when he first really got on the scene, he was on the undercard of a Mayweather fight. It might have been like Miguel Cotto and Mayweather or something like that, and Canelo was on the undercard of that. So he kind of, not that Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions, not that they made him, but they kind of gave him his introduction to the world. And you at a certain point you kind of grow out of that. You become a little bit bigger than the promotion. So and who knows, some of the business dealings and the things that are behind the scenes, what was going on. But yeah, Canelo is just Canelo. Like, we're gonna watch the fight because of him. We don't need no promotion.
I think Charlo mentioned at the end, he's like, fuck it, I'll fight Crawford. I want to fight Terrence Crawford. And then Terrence Crawford put on Twitter like, man, you a joke. You was just trying to survive in there.
Yeah, that surprised me. Yeah. That surprised me that he said that. But they really got bad blood for each other.
Yeah.
I think that, he like, I don't even want to fight him now. You just went in there to try to survive. I think Crawford probably would have respected it more if he like went out on his shield. Yeah.
True. I think Crawford want to fight Canelo bad.
Yeah.
He said, I ain't got nobody else to fight. He's telling Charlamagne, I think.
That's a lot of weight, man.
That's a lot. How much?
But I think if anybody could do it, it would be Crawford just because he got skills.
Yeah.
I think that. But Canelo is just a heavy-handed.
And he big, man.
Yeah.
He bigger than what you think he is, and he real strong.
Yeah.
But so is Crawford. So you got to imagine how strong he would be in that division.
Yeah.
That's the only fight I really care to watch.
And Crawford got a lot of pop.
Yeah.
He really punching out there.
Yeah.
So if he boxed him, and he's just so much he's a little bit more sharper than, a lot of the other boxers, I think he can make it a fight, like somewhat kind of like what Mayweather was able to do. All that heavy-handed stuff, it sound good, but when you responsible defensively, you can make anybody look like,
I know,
like regular.
That's that'll be the fight of the fucking ain't nothing else. Like Canelo and Crawford fighting would be like a legacy fight, like
for both of them,
like GOAT status fight.
I think more for Crawford, because Canelo is fighting a smaller fighter. But yeah, if Crawford, I don't know. Yeah, that would be crazy.
Boy.
Yeah.
That'd be a fucking damn. That'd be crazy.
I hope it happens just as a boxing fan, but I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know.
All right, well, we moved on from the Drake thing for a while. All right, switching gears. Joe Biden. All right. Joe fucking Biden. This guy, man. Oh, man. I'm not surprised when he does stuff. Joe Biden continues gaffe-filled week by getting LL Cool J's name wrong. President Joe Biden continued his latest string of gaffes by misstating rapper LL Cool J's name during a speech at the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation's annual legislative conference on Saturday. Biden delivered remarks at the foundation's Phoenix Awards dinner, where he honored the recipients of this year's awards that recognizes individuals who have made significant contributions to society. One of the recipients was LL Cool J, which the president misstated during his speech, later drawing criticism from social media. In quote, representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LLJ Cool J, Biden said, drawing laughter from the audience. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. So they got on Joe Biden for saying boy, because that's like a historically racist term used towards black men, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't think he meant it that way. I don't. But I think he's old as fuck, and we need to stop having old ass, raggedy, beat down politicians in office. It's embarrassing. How many times has Joe Biden got to do shit like this? This motherfucker is the first person in American history to fall up Air Force One. He fell going up the fucking stairs. I've never seen that. Mm-hmm. This motherfucker fell on Air Force One. This motherfucker fell on a bike. And then he fell down with no one around. Mm-hmm. He fell down 3 times in one turn. 3 times.
You know how like when you in the police academy, you got to like run a mile in like 9 minutes or something like that. Uh-huh. They need to have like these like type of physical tests for presidents, man, because this is not looking good.
Well, you got to understand, when Joe Biden won the election, he ran out to the podium. Remember that?
Yeah.
He ran, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, Joe Biden looks so ready. He's running so fast,
full of energy." It is a long time. 8 years is a long time.
Yeah, but here's the thing: when Joe Biden was doing
4 years,
when Joe Biden was doing the debate, and when he was doing all that, that dude was fucking slammed with Adderall. He was fucking slammed, and the reason why I could tell is his eyes was big as fuck. Mm-hmm. When they'd be talking, he'd like, look here, man. Okay, look. Okay, I'm from Scranton. Okay, I know what it's like to not have electricity. I know what it's like to live around blacks. The blacks had it bad, and we had it bad together because African Americans in America. And I love sherbet ice cream. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's getting embarrassing, man. It's getting embarrassing. Now, Trump was an embarrassment also. Mm-hmm. But we have two different embarrassments in 8 years.
I think Trump's faculties seem to be a little bit more in order.
Yeah, his faculties are there because he's a little younger. Mm-hmm. But he was just a piece of shit. Mm-hmm. And then now you got Biden. And Biden doesn't even run this country. He doesn't even. He's just a placeholder.
Yeah,
that's all he is.
Kamala Harris is the one calling the shots.
Probably not even her, man. She's the most absentee vice president I've ever fucking seen in my life.
I personally wouldn't say that. I think we don't hear often from vice presidents. They kind of like
more than her, dude. It's weird. Mm-hmm. Like back in the day, Dick Cheney was a part of a lot of conversations, and then after Dick Cheney, Joe Biden. Joe Biden
was around.
He was around, but not as much. He was just known as. There was a lot of jokes surrounding Joe Biden back then. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of jokes surrounding Joe Biden, basically with Obama telling him to shut up, like. Oh, all right, Joe. You got your time. All right, just go ahead and have a seat. Like, yeah. There was always jokes on SNL about how, like, Obama was basically telling him to shut the fuck up all the time.
Yeah.
Right. And then before then, I think it was before Bush, it was Bill Clinton and was it Al Gore? Who the fuck was vice president? Was it Al Gore, dude? You remember that?
Nah.
Yeah, I don't think you remember that. I'd have had a couple. I'd had some presidents.
Yeah, you old.
Yeah. Bill Clinton's.
I thought Monica Lewinsky was his vice president.
She was his dick president. Al Gore. I was right. Al Gore.
Okay.
Yep. Al Gore. And then
Mr. Climate Change.
Yeah. And then before I had the dad Bush, or no, I had Reagan. Yeah, Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was in the 80s, but they said Ronald Reagan was like literally one of the guys bringing in the most fucking coke in American history into the United States, especially during that crack epidemic. Mm-hmm. There was some whole exchange. There was something going on with the Sandinistas. It's like a whole big fucking just unraveling of things that happened during that time where there was a lot of imports of cocaine.
Yeah. When you're doing anything illegal to a certain magnitude, you need like the law. You need you need the law somehow involved in doing it. So
you got to remember, like in American Gangster, the movie, like the sad part is during Vietnam we lost a lot of soldiers, so it made it easy for what was the dude's name in American Gangster? Frank Lucas. Yeah. It made it easy for Frank Lucas to get involved and get completely pure cocaine from Vietnam because he knew soldiers there, that when they shipped the bodies into the United States, they were putting cocaine in the caskets.
Yeah.
So they were getting pure cocaine in the caskets. As sick and fucked up as that was pure genius.
Yeah.
He was putting fucking tons and tons of pure cocaine in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's how it's been. Like they grow cocaine out there, in those fields, like they grow it like it's corn, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah. A
lot of those soldiers came back with a bad heroin addiction.
Really?
Yeah. Well, excuse me. He was selling heroin, not cocaine. My bad. Mm-hmm. But they have, I guess they call it poppy fields.
The opium.
Yeah, I think opium, or I can't. Don't quote me on it, but I know.
Yeah, I'm not well versed in drug dealing.
Yeah. I don't have a minor in crack. But yeah, they were getting pure heroin from this shit. He was calling it blue magic. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's sad, man.
Blue magic. Yeah.
Right now, we need to really have a say no to drugs campaign, a real one. And the reason why I say that is because right now is the worst time ever in American history to ever do drugs, because the fentanyl that they're putting in this shit.
A lot of people are dying from fentanyl.
Oh, so many. There's a pandemic. People are like, wear your mask. Oh my God, wear your mask. How about you look at the amount of people that died from fentanyl?
Yeah.
That shit is worse than the fucking pandemic, dude.
Yeah, something going on with the fentanyl, because it's being found in so many people's systems that are passing away. Yeah, it's getting crazy.
Yeah, that fentanyl, that shit is some.
Yeah, even like, when the teacher had passed out, just from it being in the kid's backpack. Like,
well, they touched it? Is that what it was?
No, I think it was just the fumes of it or something. The teacher was in class and just passed out because it was in the kid. The kid had a whole bunch of fentanyl in his backpack.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Let's see here.
Remember that guy that was like trying to promote like safe drug use?
Yeah, the black dude.
Yeah.
What about him?
I just thought that's still wild to me, like that you try to promote safe drug
But
use.
I think he was trying to, I don't know if he was trying to humanize the drug, but he was trying to prove that in small doses, this can be beneficial, is what he was trying to do. However,
I thought he was trying to promote that they're going to do it anyway, so why not create like a safe?
That might have been one of his
conversation around it.
That might have been one of his talking points. However, I think his name is Dr. Love.
Mm-hmm.
I think his name is something Love, and Joe Rogan knows him very well.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me see here. Hold on. Dr. Love.
Dr. Love.
God damn it! What the fuck is? Let me see what his name is. I can't find this shit. But anyways, I think that some of his points were that in small doses or certain doses that it could be beneficial. Mm-hmm. And I don't agree with that, because I think most people that do drugs, or not most, some people have an addiction, just like alcohol. There are some people who are so addicted to alcohol that they should have never drunk it in the first place.
Yeah.
Because now it controls, it's like their brain turns into like it's just a dopamine hit.
Yeah. His name is Dr. Carl Hart.
Dr. Carl Hart, not Love.
Yeah.
Damn it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dr. Carl Hart. Yeah, he doing crack, heroin, all kinds of shit.
Yeah, drug use. He had a book called Drug Use for Grown-Ups.
That's fucking wild. Mm-hmm. That's wild. But you know what? Hold on, though. This is a little bit hypocritical. I don't say it's hypocritical on our end, but we have to wrap our minds around this. We live in a country with this big pharma shit where they are peddling Adderall, all this. Everybody's addicted to this legal shit, right? So what makes heroin and crack and shit any different from any of that?
Yeah,
it's all drugs.
It's more controlled.
It's more controlled, but it's really not. Because if all you need to do is find a crooked doctor, he will sell you all the fucking drugs you need to kill yourself.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like when a lot of times like when people be ODing on certain stuff is because the one drug dealer that make it over here, it has a different.
He's cutting it.
Yeah, it's just a different chemical makeup. You know, so. And sometimes the person over here might be using rat poison to make it, and this person is using something else. So
the thing that's crazy about meth is it has so much shit in it, man.
Yeah. I'd be watching Breaking Bad. I'd be like, dang, this is crazy.
Oh, man, Breaking Bad has to probably be one of my all-time favorite binge watches I've ever done. Breaking Bad and Sons of Anarchy are my two favorite binge watches ever.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Breaking Bad is really good.
I really liked Ozark too, but it was kind of anticlimactic the way it ended. Because it just ended. I'm like, fuck, I want to know more. Yeah.
That's hard. I wonder, in terms of like finalizing the show, I got like 3 more episodes of Breaking Bad before I actually finish the series.
Great show.
I would say, like, as far as a ending goes, like the last 3 or 4 episodes of a TV show in that dramatic world, Snowfall is like, to me, my favorite. Like,
I never even really watched that show.
You gotta watch it, bro. It's like, I've only finished Ozark in terms of the ones that you're talking about, but the way they wrap it up, bro, it's OD. Like the way it was like, it's almost like, how Jay-Z be dropping verses now to where like he just essentially like adding to his greatness. He just putting notches on his belt. Like, okay, like I'm really good at this. Let me dive in.
I really sold out the Barclays.
But now he's doing it in a way where he like talking about politics and racism and he having all these like metaphors and rhyme schemes and stuff. Like the way that the Snowfall ending was, like, in Ozark, it just kind of like everything kind of tied together and, it was just, it was what it was. But the way they did Snowfall, it was like a Greek tragedy. You know what I mean? Like all the things that they set up, it just kind of came to a head. And then the most exciting episode is not even the last one. The season finale is really like episode 9, and then episode 10 is like literally the result of all of the stuff that he went through. And it was like viral, like you could see the images of the character, just on Twitter and TikTok and stuff like that. Like, wow, how bad he felt.
What I loved about Breaking Bad was that it was a while where they had that dude that owned Pollos Hermanos. Yeah. That motherfucker was the demon.
Gus Fring.
Oh, my God. Yeah. That dude was a demon.
The way they killed him was tragic.
Yeah.
Because when they show it, he walks out and it's like he normal. And then it pans around and his whole face is just blown off.
Bro, that dude was a nut job. I was so glad when they killed that dude. God damn.
That dude's a really good actor.
He's been around a long time.
Yeah,
man. That was a great show. I caught that that was some years ago I watched that. Yeah, man. All right, let's go ahead and move on.
You know that I got a picture with that guy, Walter White Jr., on my Instagram. But when I seen him,
Walter White, what?
Walter White Jr.
Who was that?
The kid with the
kid with the wheelchair. I think he really has.
He have a wheelchair. He got like
the thing. I think he really has cerebral palsy.
Yeah, he does in real life, but he's not like, he's more I guess more normal, for lack of a better term, in real life.
Right.
Like, he can he can hold a conversation. And I was talking to him. I told him I was from Bakersfield, and he was telling me like he knew people from Bakersfield and stuff like that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep. There's that. Switching gears. Minimum wage. All right. Minimum wage is supposed to be going up to $20 here in California. All right. Let's talk about it. California increases minimum wage protections for fast food workers. What you need to know: beginning in April next year, California's minimum wage for the state's 500,000 fast food workers will increase to $20 an hour. The average hourly wage for fast food workers in 2022 was $16.21. Through the Fast Food Council, workers will have a stronger say in setting minimum wages and working conditions, including health and safety standards. Los Angeles, alongside fast food workers, labor leaders, and legislators, Governor Gavin Newsom today signed a legislation increasing the minimum wage for fast food employees to $20 per hour, beginning in April 1st, 2024. The legislation by Assembly member Chris Holden authorizes the Fast Food Council to set fast food restaurant standards for minimum wage and develop proposals for other working conditions, including health and safety standards and training. Everybody prepare for a $12 McChicken. That's what's going to happen. $20 an hour really isn't shit in today's society. But let's be very motherfucking clear. When you got McDonald's workers making $20 an hour making those McChickens, we think that right now the price of shit at McDonald's is already pretty high. It's going to get to the point where nobody's going to want to eat out anymore because it's going to cost too much fucking money. Mm-hmm. It's wild, bro. Like, I remember the other day, I was after work, I was desperate, I was hungry. And I bought a Grand McChicken because I was like, fuck it, let me try this Grand McChicken.
You got kind into buying one.
I got one. I just got one just to test it out. Yeah. Just for market research purposes, right? Yeah. So I went and got a McChicken, the Grand McChicken, and then I got 2 McDoubles, right? And that shit was it was almost $12.
I believe it. I went to go get I was feeling good. I had a job interview. I was feeling real good afterwards or before. I don't know, one of them. And I went to go get 2 McDoubles and a small fry. Actually, it wasn't even that day. I was just, I don't know. I just seen McDonald's and thought about it. 2 McDoubles and a small fry, and I spent and I got the mac sauce on them, and I spent like $9.
It's like $9 for that because they charge you for that mac sauce.
Yeah.
I'm like, this shit is insane, man.
It's still shocking to me.
Yeah.
Like, every time I see the prices at McDonald's, it's really just McDonald's. Like,
yeah,
the other spots like the Jack in the Boxes and stuff like that, you still gonna pay a lot, but you can navigate your way to a kind of cheap meal.
Yeah,
but not at McDonald's.
The only place that you can go somewhere and get food for a low price that's going to actually fill you up, like, or actually get a bang for your buck, believe it or not, it's Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Taco Bell is the only one that got shit for $1 still, bro. That shit is wild.
Yeah. I will say, though, I think that, I do think that McDonald's, their prices are already expensive. But I do think that they're going to get, that much more expensive because they're paying their employees more money. But 20 is solid, like, for a fast food job. And I don't know how it relates relative to, like, other years and the lifestyle that we used to live. But I was working there when minimum wage was like 8 something.
Damn, no way.
Yeah, it might have been like 8 or 9. I don't remember exactly, like $9.25 or something super low. So like $20, you got to think, like, if you got a part-time job and you work like a 4-hour shift or something like that, you getting $80. $80 a day is like, that's solid money, So I think it's great, just overall. I do understand the ramifications of what that looks like, right. But I think that for these, McDonald's is primarily for like young people. That's like a kind of like a starter job where you can, kind of get your first experience as an employee, or like college student or something like that. So I think for those people, it's really good, to get you a little bit of responsibility. You might be paying your insurance or, buying gas. You might have got gifted a car or something like that. You still in college. You had a junior college or something like that. I think it's amazing. I don't think that it's having a fast food job. One, they only have like 1 or 2 full-time employees is generally like the shift managers or the general managers, the only one that are full-time. Everybody else is only going to be getting like 15 hours a week or something like that. So don't think of it as like life-altering money, but it's solid for sure for some young peoples.
I got a cousin that got out of prison that got a job at McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah, that was years ago, but he was working hella hours over there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it was, but he was just like, man, like, I've been working. One time he's like, I've been working since this morning. It was like around the holidays. And holidays at McDonald's, it gets super busy because everybody out getting gifts and shit. So they just be stopping there eating. He's like, man, I've been here since like, he said since like 6 this morning. And I think it was like 8 at night.
It's so tragic, man. And that's why it's important to just like increase your skills as a person in society. Because and, you know, I've worked at McDonald's and I've worked some, you know, pretty low paying jobs. And I think that when you work all day, you get to your job at like 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. and then you get off at like 3 or 3 or like 5 or whatever. And you realize, and like, I remember when I left McDonald's after getting paid like $9 something an hour, I went to another job where I was getting paid like $11 an hour. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, yeah, I'm on now. Like, I got a little bit more money. I got more hours. And it was like a full-time job.
Right.
But that ain't nothing.
Nah,
that
bro.
ain't nothing, bro.
That ain't nothing. It's crazy how like jobs really will pay $11.75. You know, I think the lowest paying jobs now that they probably legally could get away with is probably, you know, what, $17.50 or something like that, or $18.75, 19. Like, you have to keep moving the goalposts up. Like, minimum wage in like the next 25 years is gonna be like $30 an hour.
Yeah, they have the. I think they're making more of a concerted effort to keep minimum wage going up. You know, connected to like just inflation every year.
Yeah.
And I think that's important, just because if you don't get a raise every year, then you essentially making less money.
You are.
Yeah.
You are. And what's wild too is like I think about when I was in high school and minimum wage was like fucking $5.75, I think, which is wild. Like,
to even think that for a whole hour of your life you got $5.75.
Your hours were $5 to me.
Yeah. And it's not even $5.75 because you're still paying taxes on it.
Yeah.
You know.
That's crazy, dude. God damn.
That's a real trip to think. Oh, but I think you were saying like you knew certain people, they had a full-time job at Taco Bell and they could afford an apartment. And
in the 90s? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you worked at Taco Bell in the 90s, you get a cheap apartment. But not no more. There's no job you could work in America that's paying you minimum wage where you can afford anything. Yeah. If you would have to live with people, you probably could afford a car payment or something. But
the thing about it, it's the price or the cost of living, but it's also the way jobs is set up now. Like it's a bunch of part-time positions because they don't want to pay people benefits and all the 401k matching and all this other stuff. So they got a bunch of people working like 20 hours, so they don't have to, so that it doesn't mess with their overhead. And then they got a handful of managers, that are, the full-time employees. So it's, they just found a way to finagle the system.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I just think that what needs to happen now, I get it for the fast food workers, but anyone in education, I feel they should get a significant raise. Anyone in education, I don't think that there should be a small gap between education and McDonald's. I'm sorry. No disrespect to McDonald's. But if they're getting paid 20, then motherfucking educators get paid 30.
Nah, educators, they getting paid.
They don't I think they're not an hourly rate.
They get salary. So it's not even they get paid way. If I would say if you're a teacher. If you're a teacher, you work like an 8 hour. You may not even work 8 hours, but you also get like 2 months off. So you get teachers probably make like 50 something a year. If you've been a teacher for like a decade or something, you might be in the 60s and stuff like that. So, they definitely getting paid way more than a fast food worker is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you get paid whether you go to work or not. If you work at McDonald's and you don't show up, then you're not getting paid at all.
I think there's some teachers that are around 80, actually, depending on what they have. They have not just a credential, but they have a degree.
Nah. Like if you getting paid 80,000, and I'm telling you this because my girlfriend is a teacher.
Got you.
If you getting paid 80 racks, you might be like an admin, or you might have like been teaching for like 20 years or something like that, 30 years. But yeah, that's what it looks like. You get in that 50, 60 range, like if you're a high school teacher or something like that. If you get an 80, you might be like a vice principal or something like that.
Oh shit. Well, I must not know the rates. Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. Well, just make sure instead of relying on this is what I would say just for anybody listening. Instead of relying on the minimum wage to rise up, you just want to change your skills. Get a skill. It doesn't have to be education related. It doesn't have to be like formally educated, like education. It could be air conditioners. It could be getting a commercial driver's license. It could be welding. It can be all kinds electricians. Like I've been seeing on TikTok some women getting involved with trades, and I fully support it. There was a woman. She's really cute, but she's really like professional and shit. She got her belt and all of her tools and shit, and she's an electrician. She's like legit, and she'll have like her phone, or she'll have like it recorded, and some people are like, "All right, you got it," like double checking her work and shit. But she's really good at what she does. So yeah, women getting involved with trade. Shout out to them, man. It's nothing wrong with it.
I would say like I'm in the job market now, and me having a degree / skills has been like, it's been like a blessing, right? Because you go into these interviews and, you belong there, and, and not necessarily me having a degree, but, in my case, having a degree, but in somebody else's position, like you said, having a trade, being, what they call like being a foreman or electrician or something like that, having those skills, like you said, welding, it's always job opportunities. Even being a truck driver, it's always job opportunities out there for somebody that got like, a skill that's like highly sought after. So for people, like I know this one, this kid at my church, he might be like 19, 20 years old. And he's working like Subway jobs, Jack in the Box, little part-time gigs here and there. But I haven't talked to him about it, but I would just let him know, like, dog, if you really want to make some bread and you really want to not have to be in these like all jobs are like highly competitive, but if you just want an upper hand in just life, it's always going to be competitive. Like even when I had a job interview and there was literally it was almost like me and Eddie sitting in here.
Oh, wow.
And there was like 3 other like staff members asking us questions. It was kind of awkward, but I say that to say that, if you really want to like increase your opportunity of life is much better if you just getting paid above minimum wage. You know what I mean? And that oftentimes, if you are a person that's, at a low skill job, they gonna obviously pay you the bare minimum. But when you got like a skill, a trade, a degree, something else attached to your resume, or just a history of working, in a certain area, then you can
put yourself in a position where you can actually negotiate what you're gonna get paid to.
Yeah.
Like the difference is like I've been driving trucks for 8 years now. I got a clean license and whatever. So if let's just say, for example, I was to go somewhere else or whatever, I actually have a leg to stand on at that point.
For sure, yeah.
So like for me, I would say me getting involved and me getting a CDL and getting all my endorsements, what helped me out a lot is getting my Well, let me revise this. getting my CDL helped me out a lot because it allowed me to be able to provide for myself adequately. It didn't make me rich, but it gave me a lot more money, and it upgraded my lifestyle. That is a fact. So when I tell people think about getting your CDL, I only say that to people that I see that I feel that are, how do I say? I feel like they're responsible people, or they're responsible with their license. I say get your CDL because you could haul anything. You could haul dry van, you could haul hazmat, you can haul just anything.
Yeah.
Just get all of your endorsements. There's local work, there's over the road work. You could become an owner operator if you really want to run your money up. Maybe get a truck or two if you want that type of responsibility, and you could literally make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, or you can make millions of dollars a year.
Yeah.
It's all depending not only on your work ethic, but what type of jobs you're getting. If you become an electrician, you can also make decent money doing that. I just say you need to develop your.
You got to just specialize in something.
Yeah, specialize in something, whether it's air conditioners, CDL, whatever it is. You can't just be a regular person just filling out apps. You have to have a degree, have something. Because if you're just a person with a high school education, you're filling out apps, you're getting drowned out and put in a box with everyone else.
Especially now, I'm looking on these different job apps, and a lot of it is degree required, degree required, and I'm just like you said, if you submit, and now they got artificial intelligence that are scanning resumes, so a lot of the people are not, you could have worked at the Walmart warehouse for years, and you manage a store and all this other stuff, and you think that that's gonna get you a certain gig, but you submit that resume and artificial intelligence is they looking for an EDU or a university on the end of it, and they just pushing your stuff aside. But I will say, along with what you're saying about trades, just having a degree, it opens up the door for you, because pretty much no matter what you majored in, you can still go get your teaching credential. Yeah. And it's not as they're not hiring teachers as crazy as they were a few years ago. But you have your education, and I have multiple my friends that were able to teach before they actually got their teaching credential, and they were going to school at the same time. So, and they majored in different things. Some were in psychology, or some were in kinesiology, and some was in English and history and all these things, so I just say having that degree, even if you don't really want to be a teacher, you get summers off, and you get to you on salary. If you miss work, you're not going to be in jeopardy of not getting paid and all these things. So you obviously going to be around kids, and there's pros and cons to every job, but I just say that to say that's an option for people.
Get a skill.
Get
a skill. Get something that can be used. If you don't have that, you are just going to get washed away, and you're going to get shit job after shit job.
Yeah.
Trust me, I lived it before. So don't do that. Literally, one of the best things I've ever done with my life was getting my CDL. Not because I'm, because I love truck driving so much. It's a job. It's decent. I don't hate it, but I don't have a love story to tell you. But what I can tell you is it did upgrade my way of life, because it pays me an adequate living. In addition, it's something that it's needed everywhere. Everybody needs trucks everywhere. If you're a woman somewhere and you I don't know what to do, just do anything. Get your forklift license. Go to a welding school. Go to West Tech and get your passport. Whatever the case.
Yeah.
If you're some of these oil field workers, though, the issue with let's say you work on a rig and you do all that labor and you make money. Once you get laid off or you get fired, you don't have any skills.
Yeah.
You only have.
It's very specific.
Yeah. It's all it is labor. So those guys, if you're an oil field guy, I strongly suggest you get a CDL as well. So at least you can, you could stay on the lease and drive a truck or something. Because, bro.
Yeah, because all they know is you got a strong work ethic. You don't get no management skills nothing like that applies anywhere else. So after those when the oil slow up or whatever, the economy take a turn, then they just left with like dirty fingers.
The dumbest thing you could do in this economy is stay at a low skill job for a long time. I know some people get comfortable. I know you've probably been there's some people that work at like a Rite Aid for like 12 years or something. Mm-hmm. But if you're just a worker at you're just wasting your life, man. Because the moment you get fired or you quit that job or whatever, you have no fucking skills. None. Mm-hmm. That's the scariest thing you could do in this economy is be a low-skilled worker because they don't got a job for your ass. Mm-hmm. Nothing. Mm-hmm. So I mean, unless you're gonna get an OnlyFans popping, and even the OnlyFans, you can't do that because now what's happening with OnlyFans? If you didn't get on earlier, then you can't build. You got to build a whole fan base. Yeah. You know how many girls that unfortunately that I know of that have an OnlyFans, and I could just tell that their OnlyFans ain't popping.
How many you think you know?
I think I know offhand. I know at least like 3 girls.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, this is embarrassing because I know y'all charging a subscription fee. Y'all ain't even got that many subscriptions and y'all on there butt naked.
Yeah.
Like, come
charging
on.
Charging $4.99 a month.
All it costs to see your booty hole is $4.99.
That's crazy.
That ain't cool, man.
Yeah. I think
if you showing your booty hole for $4.99, go get your fucking welder certificate, man.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, you can have a job.
Ladies, you don't need OnlyFans. You don't, because I'm gonna tell you something about OnlyFans. A lot of these girls that's getting money right now, that's getting a lot of fucking money, right? And they think this is great. There's technology and time and technology has shown us what we need to know over the years. Mm-hmm. Whenever something big happens, it always gets shut down. Eventually, OnlyFans is going to be gone. Mm-hmm. It's going to be completely gone, just like any other large thing that has came and went. Mm-hmm. There might be some type of scandal or OnlyFans might get sued or who knows what's going to happen. Yeah. And as soon as that shit goes down, guess what you have? 0 skills. If the only skills you got is showing your booty hole on OnlyFans, that's not a skill.
Yeah.
So now
it's a lot. That stuff is a lot of work too. Like the amount of work that these girls be putting into promoting themselves as a OnlyFans member or whatever. It's like it's dang near a full-time job.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
I think that I was looking for I was scrolling through Instagram like looking for different comedians and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I would click on some of their pages, and one thing that I realized is like a lot of these women are like sexualizing comedy now, and not like sexualizing it in the content. Like these women are like, they're like stand-up comics, they're actors. Then they also got like an OnlyFans page, and some of the pictures on their page, they got like, they booty out and bikini and stuff like that. So it's like, the taking the pictures is fine. Girls be want to feel sexy and stuff like that, but it just tripped me out how like these women are like trying to create like the multiple streams of income, but they doing stand up at the Comedy Store, and then they also got the OnlyFans page, and they also got like the little sexual content here and there. And I'm just like, dang, this is crazy. Yeah, none of that's all low skill work. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, they could be making a bunch of money, but if they're not investing that money in, if they're only using that money to live, and the money is not substantial enough for them to invest it in the real estate or to funnel that money somewhere else, once that well runs dry, you're going to have all these pictures of your booty hole on the internet and you ain't got nothing to show for it. Yeah. People got to realize that, man. They got to realize that. You know how many strippers worked in a strip club? I know some I don't know them present tense, but I knew some. I knew some strippers that worked in a strip club, literally. Mm-hmm. And they also worked full time at a job while working there. So it's like if you get naked and it's not supporting your life, yeah, like what are you doing? Yeah, that's facts. It's like you said, it is, and the cold part about it is you got to build it up, right? Right. And another thing is, if you know someone and they got like OnlyFans or something like that, you are less likely to actually click on it. And then you realize like some of these women are like, they're just attractive. They're not necessarily like, they don't really got like a poppin' Instagram like that. No. They just was like the girl that kind of got, they just like semi-attractive. So that person is trying to start an OnlyFans with like 2,500 followers on Instagram.
Can't do that.
Can't do it.
Your shit got to be up there.
Yeah.
Yep. We've exhausted that topic. We had a few questions. Let's go ahead and answer those.
All right.
How about that? All right. We got one from, we'll just keep it anonymous. It says, did either of y'all go to the fair? And if so, how much money did you spend? Nope. I didn't go to the fair, and neither did Keith.
No, I didn't go. I did. I probably would have went because there was a thing at my church that they were going up there and singing and stuff like that. And I definitely wanted some of the food. But the problem with going is I would much rather go during the day because, like, I don't got no kids or nothing like that. And my girl is a teacher. So you're not going to catch me. You're not going to catch me up there on a Saturday night with a bunch of dirt and kids running around.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah. So, fortunately, I haven't been there, sir. Another one. When you guys come up, where is the first place you guys are visiting? She put $signs right there. Visiting. Well, me, when I come across a lot of money, that's a hell of a question. Now, I say I would like to go to the Dominican Republic. I'm not going to tell you why I would like to go there, but I think you understand why I want to go to the Dominican Republic. Either the Dominican Republic or Venezuela. Either those would be the two destinations.
Yeah. For me, I want to go to Africa. One of my good friends from school, he's from Ghana. And yeah, I want to go to Wakanda. But yeah, I definitely want to go to the motherland just to feel that energy, you know. And I know, like, I don't know, I have an affinity for African people just because they're like I don't know, just being a black man, you just have a different relationship.
Give me your credit card number.
Bruh. Yeah. That stuff is real.
Yeah. I'm not trying to scam anybody. I just want to get your credit card number really quick.
Yeah.
Welcome to Nigeria. Like, nigga, you trying to scam me? I just got here.
Yeah. So, I want to go there. I definitely, I know I have a couple, a couple, like paths to get there. I have one of my friends. He has a nonprofit organization in Kenya, in a slum out there. So, he invited me to go out. The plane ticket the trip overall was a few $1,000s. And I didn't have the funds to do it whenever he went this previous time, but he's like built the whole sports center and hospital and stuff like that out there. So I definitely want to go and visit out there and, be with the people, be with my peoples. Yeah. Yeah. So that's definitely a place where I want to go.
Steady trying to find the motive. I had another question here too. And we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up. All right. What's she right here? Cat or dog lover? For me, I love dogs personally. Mm-hmm. Keith doesn't give a fuck about animals.
Hey, let me answer the question. Dang, answer your own question.
Go ahead, Keith. What you got?
I don't love animals. I don't love either animal particularly. I don't. I probably would never like own a pet on my own. Like my girl has. She has a dog and there's a cat that lives with us as well that I don't care for the cat, but yeah, I don't there's nothing that moves me about seeing like I think that when I see like they just showed Kyle Juszczyk's dogs. Mm-hmm. Did you see that on the game? Yeah. I was like, he has some good looking dogs, right? So I can see a dog and I'm like, man, that's a good looking dog, or like a different breeds and stuff like that. But as like a person, like when I see people and they're like hugging their dog or like kissing their dog or like they're enjoying like a walk with their dog, that doesn't resonate with me. And there's nothing wrong with the people that do it. That's just something that is not like, I've just never been that kid that, just had an affinity for like any dog. Like I've never looked at a dog and was like, oh my gosh, I want to take that dog home. I've seen a dog and said like, man, like, just huskies or certain dogs. I was like, man, that's a beautiful dog. But never have I ever just been like, man, I want this type of dog. I don't want that type of dog.
Yeah. I love dogs personally. But I have a limit to my love of dogs. Like I'm the type, I'm a dog petter. I'm a dog hugger. I'll even give a dog a kiss on the head or something. Right. But I'm not letting the dog lick me in the face.
Yeah, it's not.
That's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
Okay. But
I will say having a cat and a dog inside of our house, cats are so much more annoying. Like, just like they get into like you have to like keep them away from certain things. We have a cat that'll like. I'm not gonna say we because I don't like to claim the cat, but there's a cat that I see him every day.
The cat is like, fuck you too, nigga.
I'm just like, this nigga is like wasted air. But he be like hanging out in the dirt. Then like I come home and the nigga's like all on the bed. It's like dirt all over the bed, and like I be getting him off the bed sometime or most of the time. I'm like, dog, you don't. It's not. Go do something with your life. Like, stop bringing dirt on the bed. So
the problem with cats is cats are the most judgmental fucking animals ever too. They will just jump on the counter and stare at you and just look at you like, what? Like, feed me, motherfucker. Like,
yeah, that's the annoying. When the cat is hungry, it's just annoying. Like meowing real loud. Like the way it is. Like if you wake up in the morning and the cat is hungry, and say you like, for me, it may be like 6 a.m. right, and you got to like take a leak, and you might not get up until like 7:30 or something like that. You got to take a leak, but the cat is like, they have like hypersenses, so they up and ready to like eat, because they have this internal clock as far as like when they normally get fed. So like I'll go to the bathroom and I'm just trying to take a leak and go lay back down. But the cat is like following you around the house until you feed him. And the issue with the cat that is at our house is that it's not intelligent enough to know like if there's food or not inside of his bowl, because the bowl is like sitting up on the little tower. So it could be food in there, but he's not intelligent enough to know that like the food is in there. He only recognizes the sound, like the shaking of the like the food. So that's the only way he knows that the food is in there. So he don't ever go check if food is in there. He just waiting for somebody to go over there. So there's been times where I'll like play a trick on him. So I'll like go over there and I'll act like I'm getting the food scooper, and I'll just shake his bowl, and then he'll run up there and start eating. But I'm like, dog, nigga, you didn't need to bother me to know that it was food in your bowl. So I say that to say, like, cats are idiots.
Bro, I'm telling you, as somebody listening to this shit, is like, you're fucking cat shaming, and I'm tired of this. I liked you guys, but I'm not listening to your podcast anymore.
Yeah.
Because you're like that poor cat. I'm so sad that cat has to live with you, Keith.
Oh, you can get it if you want to. I'll give you my address.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That cat is just like kind of new to the house, ain't he?
It's been a minute, like over a year.
Over a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That was one time. It's a black cat, right? And this lady on the block had hit a cat.
No.
Yeah, so I'm coming out of the house, and the lady like pulled over, and she got like her gloves on, and she carrying the cat to the side of the road.
No.
And I'm like, hey, did you hit a cat? And I'm like, kind of like feeling like some type of way. I'm like, dang, is this our cat? And then I walk over there, and it wasn't like no collar on it or anything. So I was like, oh, that's not ours. But then I was thinking like, dang, did she hit it so hard that the collar just popped off? But it ended up not being the cat that's at our house. So
man.
It was. I guess it was somewhat of a relief, but I was a little bit excited for like 10 minutes.
Oh, damn. Oh, my God. They going to kill your ass. Cat lovers going to be like, oh, my God.
He's freaking PETA.
Yeah, you gonna have PETA on your ass. Imagine having the Swifties and PETA.
Yeah, Swifty.
We just had to cancel the whole podcast. Rename it. Just fucking rename it. Keith and Eddie, Cat Lovers Podcast.
The Cat Lovers.
I had where I used to live. I had a lot of cats in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
and there was cats that had previously lived in the apartment that I had moved in. And when I was moving in, cats was just like standing by and shit, and like they wouldn't leave for a while.
Yeah,
and they was just like knocking it. Like literally, cats will knock on your door, bro.
Yeah,
they'll be like, meow. You like, nigga, how you knocking? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, there was a cat that was like, the thing about cats too is that we got a whole cat segment, but the thing about cats too is that there's some cats that are like kind of like house cats,
right?
And then there's some that are like hybrids where they like, you know, they be outside a lot of the time and stuff like that. But the neighbor's cat was on our roof and it was like scratching the roof, and you hear it ever so often. And for a minute, I was like, dude, we got rodents in the attic or something like that. So yeah, like I understand what you're saying. Like they just be doing like little annoying thing. And it's like it's some cats in the neighborhood, like little kittens, and you gotta like really watch out for them because they'll just run out into the road. Like,
yeah, bro.
Yeah. So it's just like, in terms of the a lot of people say that they're bad for the ecosystem in the neighborhood just because, you know, they be doodling everywhere and all kind of other stuff. So
yeah, what I've learned too is some dogs definitely speak English. Because I've had times where, you know, like a street dog runs up. You got to be careful with like, street dogs. Yeah. Because, you know, they could do anything. They could just run up and bite you. Yeah. But it's been a few times where a dog ran up and it is different. If a dog seems pleasant, even a stray dog, depending on the day, I'll probably pet it, especially if it's not. It's like a house dog.
You gotta test the energy, huh?
Yeah, gotta test the energy first. I'm not just gonna pet any dog.
Yeah.
But when they coming at me with wild energy, I'm like, hey man, get the fuck out of here. And the dog be like, oh, and he just walk off. I'm like, yeah, man, get your motherfucking ass.
It's
out
some
of here.
dogs where you can't really tell. Mm-hmm. I've seen like I was running one time and I seen a pit bull, and it was like I couldn't really tell if it was a stray or if it just got out of the yard. Mm-hmm. And it was just so much mysteriousness about it. And he wasn't really aggressive, but he also wasn't like running away. Mm-hmm. And I'm also running. So, you know, they be having that like playful energy. So I just had to start walking, and then like eventually he kind of like chilled out. But yeah, it's one of the things where you like, I don't know, man, I might be in for a fight. Yeah. I remember the craziest time I've ever, you know, you get chased by dogs like as a kid and stuff like that. But the craziest experience I had with a dog, and this is how you know like humans are the superior species. I got out of my car and it's dark. It's like, you know, like how would I describe it? Like I'm at an apartment complex and it's just like street lights, but it's like it might be like 9 p.m. or something like that. Yeah. So in the whole week, right, there's this house that I had been driving by, and it had a dog. It might have been like a pit bull or something like that. It just seemed very aggressive. But it's in the front yard, so it's running around every time a car passed by and barking and stuff like that. And it's one of those dogs when you look inside the yard, you like, yeah, you don't want to mess with that one. So I don't know what happened. I park inside the apartment. I get out of my car, and then all of a sudden you hear that, oh, and you hear like the foot, you know, steps on the asphalt, and it run up on me. Oh, fuck. But I'm like, yo, I don't know what to do. So all I did was run on the other side of the car, and the dog just like didn't know where I was.
You stupid motherfucker.
And I just waited.
You put a Tom and Jerry on him.
And I just waited for him to get tired of looking for me.
I mean, when you're full, when all of your surface area is inside of a fence and you get outside of it, you're gonna be confused.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is run the right angles on that dog.
Yeah.
Man, he probably one of those dogs that's like aggressive, but he's stupid. So you just throw a Frisbee and he just take off and chase it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And was he like confused? Like, oh.
Yeah, he was just looking around, but he just couldn't find me. So it was over. Yeah. Yeah, it was wild.
Oh, that's crazy. It was crazy as how you didn't keep running. You just stopped.
Behind the car.
Was he kind of had some size on him?
Yeah, it was a pretty decent sized dog.
Oh my God. You would be so I wonder if he was deaf.
Nah, he could hear. He was just stupid.
Oh my
I realized
God.
like as much as dogs have like their hearing is more like frequency based. Like that's all. Like, so for even the dog, even for our dog, there's times where she'll be looking for my girl, but she won't know what room she in. So she'll be calling her name, and then she'll run into this room and run into that room, and then finally find. I'm like, dang, like your hearing really not that good.
Yeah.
It's just like the frequencies, but she can hear like the engine. The car engine from the backyard or like certain things. Or she could hear like when the AC turns on and she could hear those frequencies. But
yeah, Mila is a chill dog.
Yeah.
Real chill. She's like, if Mila was like a person, she would be like probably an additional cast member on Golden Girls or something.
Yeah. Or like Wednesday.
Yeah.
From the Addams Family.
Yeah. Very emo.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap this thing up, man. We appreciate all you guys that listen to the pod. Potentially all the Swifties that get a hold of this one here.
Shout out to the Swifties, man.
Hey, make sure you follow us on YouTube at A Trucker's Mind Podcast. Head over to Instagram at _Trucker's Mind _podcast. Head over to ATMPOD on Cash App for a friendly donation, and head over to a truckersmind.com to buy some merch. So, hey, if you made it to the end of this episode, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to A Trucker's Mind Podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
We're out of here.
Peace.